liebe Leute, nach einer Einheit hier in Kloster Einsiedeln, in das wunderschöne schweizerische Landschaft, da haben Sie die Glocken gehört. Und hier, ich stelle Sie Pater Thomas vor. Pater Thomas, wann haben Sie Kindergarten fertig gemacht? War das letztes Jahr?
Kindergarten? Muss ich gerade überlegen, wann ich im Kindergarten war, 1990.
Na, wie lange sind Sie Mönch hier in Einsiedeln?
Ich bin 2006 eingetreten, das heißt jetzt 17 Jahre.
17 Jahre?
Ja,
du bist länger als Pater Philipp?
Genau, ein Jahr länger.
Ein Jahr
ich bin
länger.
auch ein Jahr älter.
Aha, interessant. Genau. Du bist dachte, sagen wir, wir reden auf Deutsch. Sorry people, I'm supposed to speak in English. My apologies. I won't restart the video because we had those beautiful bells for 6 o'clock in the evening. So we're going to continue in English.
Okay, great.
And I'm going to have to fix this with an English title on the
Subtitles,
film.
good.
By the way, I don't edit my movies, so what we say is what's on them.
Oh, okay.
So you're liable.
Okay, good.
So let's just enjoy the landscape for a little bit here. We can actually back here they have a stud with some horses. Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
And they have a wood mill, a sawmill, but I don't think we're going to go back there. Time is precious for a couple of reasons right now. And we'll walk around the front here that you already have seen. Isn't that a marvelous evening sky? I love it. How do you like it here in the monastery, Father Thomas?
I like it because it's my home and I grew up here. So
where were you born?
I'm born in town. Yes.
In Einsiedeln?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So I didn't make it very far, I always say.
So how many monks? You have over 40 monks here, right?
42 monks we are, yes.
And how many are from Einsiedeln born here?
Oh, I think we are 2 right now.
Really? So
yes.
You're 50%?
Yes.
That's great. We have some graffiti here. Well, this isn't graffiti. What's this about?
It's scouts. You see the boy there on the right.
The Boy Scout.
Yes, he's a Boy Scout. And then we have the Our Lady of Einsiedeln without the vestments.
Okay.
So he's kneeling in front of...
Okay, a little respect for
yes.
for Mom.
Yes.
Lovely, like the little boy that's in her arms.
Yes.
Very beautiful. And here we have another mom with the little boy. Isn't that beautiful? Hello. This little boy will be famous, especially his mom. Isn't that nice? And here we have the beginning of a way of the cross, a remembrance of Jesus' sufferings all along this beautiful way. Imagine praying along here in these trees. You see, what we're going to do this evening is we're going to talk a little bit about the Benedictines and about monastic life in general. And that's so interesting because it's not our normal experience. You know, monks, like maybe we see them in movies.
Movies or in literature.
In literature, if people read anymore.
Yes, that's true.
So then, why did you become a monk, Father Thomas?
That's an interesting question. I attended high school here. We have a high school with about 400 students. And they come when they are 13 and they leave when they are 19. And it's a very interesting age. So during these years, they have to find out what they want to do afterwards. And so that was my job too, to find out what I want to do with life after high school. And I saw all the teachers, they were monks. And I thought, why are they monks? What are they doing the whole time? And maybe is it also something for me? And
look at the whole time. You said a word there and I'm interrupting you. I'm sorry,
yeah,
but
no
I'm
problem.
a terrible person for jumping around. I always do a stroll in chat.
Oh, good.
So chat isn't a conference or anything. It's just very casual, and a stroll is very casual. But I just see the clocks up here. We're hearing the bells all the time. So that just rang a bell for me when you said time, reflecting about time in life. You know, you were saying this.
Okay.
It's a time for reflection.
Yes,
in high school.
Time of reflection, and also time. The time of life God has given to all of us, and we have to find out what we want to do with this time. What is the sense of life? When I am 90 years old and then I look back at my life.
You're going to be 90?
Maybe, or even more. And when I look back at my life, I have to figure out, was that really a good time? What did I do with this gift of life? And so I thought maybe becoming a monk makes sense. for me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because at the beginning of my time, there was God. He made me. And at the end of my life here on earth, He will be there again. And I think also between these two extremes, God is there with me too during my whole life here on earth. And I want to be close to Him. I want to figure out who is He.
How old were you when you made the decision to join the Benedictines?
19.
Were you already turned 19?
Yes, but
Because I joined when I was not yet 19. I turned
okay.
19 in October and I joined in September.
But I joined later. I wanted to join, and then I was still at the university, at the college, and the novice master said, no, you have to finish first your bachelor's degree, and then you're
very
allowed
good.
to come. And then I was 21 when I joined the monastery.
Very good. Excellent.
17 years ago.
17 years ago, God bless you. That's wonderful. And what are you doing now? How do you spend your time? Are you always praying the whole day?
Yes. No. 6 times a day we come together for prayer.
Community prayer.
Yes, of course. And then I teach at our high school now. I teach Latin and history. And I'm also chaplain for our students, and I'm responsible for the altar servers. That is my job at the school, and then I'm also responsible for the Instagram channel.
Instagram, you're on Instagram.
Yes, I'm a big influencer.
Well, I want to say that you're a big influencer, but you also followed my little account yesterday, so I want to say thank you for following my. What's your Instagram?
And I want to thank everyone who will follow us, and we will follow back.
Fantastic. I don't have to follow back too much because I can't keep up with all the stuff.
Yeah, that's true. But so, I have a lot of time. You know?
So, so tell me, what's your Instagram handle?
Handle? What does it mean?
Your identification in the Instagram.
Kloster _ Einsiedeln.
Well, we'll leave that later. We'll put that in the copy because we're going to get that wrong if we do it orally.
Yes.
Okay, see, there's people coming out from this church. Were they praying?
I hope so.
A lot of people come to pray. Father Philip told me this morning that it's estimated between 500,000, that's the monastic underestimation, and the city estimates 1 million. So there's somewhere in between. People come to pray.
Between.
That's amazing. So I see 2 people over there. That's another monk, is it?
Yes, he is also a teacher at our high school, and he is next to a Greek teacher.
A Greek teacher. So we'll go over and say hello to them as well.
Yes.
So this is the town of Einsiedeln. Can you imagine, people, if you didn't see the other video I made this morning with Father Philip, this was a forest. It was called the Dark Forest?
Yeah, the Black Forest.
Well, the Black Forest in Germany.
Yeah, that's true. Dark Forest.
They called it the Dark Forest. Finsterwald, the Dark Forest. You have a Calvary scene up there in the trees. There's so many things to show you here, but we'll show you as much as we can today. I want to go into the school because people say that the church is against science. And he's teaching Latin and history, so we need to talk about this, and about the nature of the connection between where the Benedictines had a role in educational development. I read a book once. It was actually read in our dining room like you read in the nighttime. And it was by a Dutch scholar showing how the Benedictine order, your community, which was founded how long ago?
1,500 years ago.
1,500. What was the date exactly?
He died, we say, in 547.
And when was he active? When did he start the first monastery in Subiaco or in Monte Cassino?
Subiaco, but he was born in 480, so I would say maybe 520.
Okay, so we are over 1,500 years.
Yes.
Are these teachers?
Yes, all of them.
All of them are teachers. Can we say hello? We're on video. You're becoming famous. You're becoming famous. We're doing a video about the school and education here. And this is Father
Mauritius.
Where are you from, Father Mauritius?
From this area.
From the nearby Einsiedeln?
Yes,
How far away?
5 miles.
5 miles. So is he one of the 2 that are from Einsiedeln?
No.
So you don't qualify from Einsiedeln. And this is Professor?
I'm Father Armando.
Father Armando, what do you teach?
I'm teaching religion and next year mathematics and physics.
Mathematics and physics were my favorite subjects. I wanted to become
I wanted
to become a nuclear fusion engineer, but God had a better plan for humanity.
Yeah, same with me.
And you are?
I'm Francis.
Francis, where are you from?
From the mountain region, from Engadine.
Here in Switzerland?
Yes.
What do you teach, Francis?
Latin and Greek.
Latin and Greek, and he does Latin and history.
Yes, yeah. we
Very
are
good. So
colleagues.
you're good
And
colleagues.
he also Greek. Latin,
also-
Latin and Greek. Yeah.
Latin and Greek. Very good. So we're meeting all these classical scholars. We're going to continue the conversation with Father Thomas, but another time we'll catch
Okay.
you.
Enjoy.
Thank you. God bless you.
Bye-bye.
So are all the teachers here also the lay teachers? One of these was a lay teacher, right?
Yes.
And the other two are Benedictines.
No, one is a secular priest, and the
Ah.
other one was a Benedictine in the habit, yes.
Ah, okay, gotcha. So we're going into a gymnasium now. That's not for doing gymnastics, is it?
No, gymnasium means high school in English.
In German.
Yes.
In German, but in Italy, in English, a gymnasium is for sports.
Yes.
And the original.
gymnasium. It came from the Greek culture, where people were doing like physical training.
Yes, and they were also doing study.
Yes, yes,
The gymnasium had both aspects in Greek, right?
yes. Because to have a healthy mind, you have to have a healthy
Body.
Yes.
Very good. The
So
whole
both-
person.
Yes, whole person. Everything belongs together.
Now, how old is this building? This is a rebuilt monastery, right?
A rebuilt monastery. We were founded in 934.
Okay, 1100 years ago minus 11.
Yes.
You remember I did math. 1100 years minus 11.
Exactly. And we have a continual history, but in the Baroque time, they wanted to build a new house, a big house, a nice house. And so in 1704, they began to build this Baroque building. So a little bit more than 300 years ago.
Stiftsschule
Stiftsschule.
means foundation, or it really means a monastery school.
Founded.
And here there's a rec sod. You don't rec things there, that's for recreation.
Yes.
And the cloister means a cloister, which is part of the monastery language
Yes, exactly.
and experience. What is it like to be in silence all day?
Oh, we are not in silence all day,
Well,
but
you're a
silence
teacher.
science is important because to regain energy, to listen, I think that's what we don't do as often as we should, to listen to people.
Uh-huh.
We like to talk, but we don't like to listen to each other. Maybe that's the problem.
We like to talk, but we don't like to listen. We should write down these lines that we're hearing here. So, school redaction, that's the newspaper?
Yes, so the students, they have a own newspaper. Where
You can get their QR code here.
Yes,
And check
but it's
them
all in
out.
German.
It's all in German, so that's why we started this video in German with making a mistake.
Exactly. I confused you. And this is Schulseelsorge. That means the pastoral care for the students. Yes.
Could we see a lab? Do you have labs for like science, physics, chemistry? Is that possible, or is it off bounds?
I don't have the keys for the labs.
You don't have the key for the labs?
No,
Okay.
just our the teacher for natural science.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I can show you other.
Wow, look at this corridor. I can imagine the kids running here, especially in the cold weather.
That's true. That's true. Now in the summer, it's.
Could you tell us something about the relationship between the cloisters, the monasteries in Europe, and education? I was reading this book before we got interrupted by those three teachers.
Yes.
About these, the Benedictine monasteries being key to educating Europe and preparing it for democracy.
Yes, that's true. I mean, who shaped the education? That were the Benedictines, because they had they knew how to write, how to read. So they were the first teachers here in Western Europe, and what they kept in their libraries from the antiquities, from the old times. So that's what we have now. Here we have, it's not a lab, but we have here the teaching room
Okay.
for physics.
You know, one thing, would it be possible, maybe it's not possible, keep going, go ahead, to go to the library?
Yes, I can. Yes.
We can look into the teaching room for physics. I'd like to see that. I'd like to share with our people. Oh wow, is that a telescope?
Yes, because sometimes they look into the sky.
Uh-huh.
And maybe also into heaven.
But wasn't the church against Galileo and astronomy? What do you say to that argument when people tell you that?
Maybe we had to figure out where the boundaries are, or the Grenzen.
The encounter of faith and reason.
Yes,
Faith and scientific discovery.
Where we can really say something and where we can't say anything, because natural science they can explain us why we have what happened during the Big Bang, for example.
Okay.
But they can't say anything why this happened.
Now, who invented the theory of the Big Bang?
It was a Belgian priest.
You see? It's a Belgian priest. Was he religious or diocesan?
And I just heard that the first person in the United States who had a PhD in computer science was a Catholic nun.
Yes,
You know
the
that?
first PhD in computer science in the United States was a Catholic nun.
Yes.
Yes. So one of the reasons, people, that I wanted to bring you in here was also to make this point about the monasteries actually did bring a lot of culture to Europe, educating Europe, and contributed immensely to the development of Europe. Yesterday I had the pleasure of being in the Transport Museum,
In Lucerne.
Verkehrshaus in Lucerne, and it was amazing to see all the contributions also of people of great faith
Yes.
to the development of technology and industry.
Because you always have to know why you're doing something, and having faith.
One second, is this an experiment or is it just having fun?
No, they are cutting photos.
Okay, but
Yeah,
they were
pictures.
having their own photography there.
Yes, because we had photographers here since the 19th century. One of the first photographs here were back in the 1860s. So really the first photograph. And you see the students in former times, they wore like caskets.
Not in your time.
Not
Not
in your
caskets. Casket is a coffin for burying people, and this is a cassock.
A cassock. Oh, my English is terrible.
No, your English is fantastic. And in Switzerland, you don't have to go far to be able to ski, right?
Yes, it's right behind the monastery.
Look at these ski sticks they have. They look like sticks from the woods. Amazing. And they're musicians.
Musicians high up in the Alps, and look at this confer.
This is Father Damien.
He wore his habit in the Alps, of course.
In the Alps.
In the Alps.
Excellent. Let's go. We want to see the library.
Yes.
And you need to get to prayer, right? In 5 minutes or 7 minutes. And me too.
Dinner.
Or dinner, sorry. Yeah.
Sometimes we also eat something, not just pray.
Yes.
You
So
see?
let's walk quickly.
Body and mind and heart, everything has to be together.
Are you happy after all these years now that you made your decision, and you were 21 years old when you made when you joined, and now you're here 17 years already?
Yes.
So can you say that it was worthwhile? Is it a good idea that you made this decision?
Yes.
Why?
Why? Because I just think it makes sense to live a life together with God, and because we all have the same questions. Why does something happen? Why do we have so much things going on in the world who are not, very nice? And I think with God, you find an answer. And you're not alone, and you don't have to carry your burden totally alone. You can trust to somebody. And I think that's just great.
People, I want to give you an aerial view of the monastery while Father is opening the library, which is an incredible privilege that we're entering an amazing library. And I'm just so happy that we can do this video here.
Now we have plenty of tourists coming to Einsiedeln just because of your video, right?
You're kidding. No, you could come, and you can actually be a volunteer here. You can, not a volunteer, but you can be here for a while, a longer stay. How long is Kloster auf Zeit?
So during the summer we have a 1-week program, But to be honest, I'm also responsible for an international volunteer program where the young man can live with different monasteries in the whole world, 12 monasteries, between 6 and 12 months.
Wow.
Yes. And I have the interviews.
But can other people also volunteer here, adults or people that are not thinking about becoming a priest or a monk?
Oh yes, because they just want to have time for themselves, to reflect a little bit. So you don't have to want to become a monk to spend time here.
Fantastic. Guys, I'm going to let Father tell you, this library is amazing. Look at even the way the shelves are designed. That's a very physical, external thing. Tell us something, the basic essentials about the library, and we must look at a few of the manuscripts.
So this here is the historical library. We have here about 40,000 volumes.
Inside here?
Inside here. But of course, we also have a modern library because here we have books between the 16th and the 20th century. And all the books, they are younger. So 20th and 21st century. We have in a modern library.
What do you have under this cover?
To be honest, I haven't yet seen the newest exhibition, but here we have to.
It's a codex from Gregory the Great. The homily in is about Ezekiel.
Yes.
Wow. What year is this from?
From the 10th century, so written between 970 and 990.
Now, Pope Gregory the Great was in the 6th century?
6th century.
And so this was a copy of his homilies on Ezekiel. That's where it's opened from 500 years later. Is that correct? No.
No, about 400 years
400
later.
years later. So the thing is, you know, books like the books you have at home, people, you bought them a few years ago. How many of those books are going to be there in 500 years' time? And then that's the question, you know, all the things are copied and recopied because otherwise we lose them. Can we see a few others there? Oh, do you want to explain something about the way it's written?
It's of course in Latin.
It's in handwriting.
It's a handwriting, yes, because the technique to print books was invented 500 years later. So they all had to write the books by hand.
Wow.
And look at this very great picture of Saint Gregory, the Pope, and who has the Holy Spirit on his shoulder.
Wow, here beside his head.
Yes, and then he had like his secretary who was writing
what he was
next
saying,
to him.
dictation.
Yes, dictation. Mm-hmm.
Very good. And we would love to see a few more things. We know the time is of the essence.
Yes.
Are you aware of the location?
Every year we have a new exhibition. So
What's the oldest Bible we have here?
Oldest Bible? I don't know, but the oldest book here is from 700 something.
Wow. Mm-hmm. This is from Isidore of Spain, the etymology. Book 20 of the etymology of Isidore is famous.
Also written here in the 10th century.
This is a copy for the 10th century, because when it was Isidore, he was also a few centuries before that, right?
I think 4th. Yeah. No, also 6th, 7th.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Wow. So, you know, this is the treasure. You know, this is what monasteries did. They collected writings.
Yes.
And they allowed us to have a treasure from the past.
Yes, exactly. What they wanted to keep, that's what we have. And all the other things they were not interested in.
This is from Hieronymus Sophronius Eusebius.
Yes,
this
also
was
10th
a
century.
book of teaching. Okay, so these are the treasures. I think our time is running out, dear people, but look at where we are in this amazing library. I think you can research more about this on the internet as well. Is there much of the library on the internet?
There are also plenty of pictures online.
And some explanations?
Some explanations, I think so, yes. And of course, I mean, on Instagram, you'll find a lot of very nice and helpful information about.
Oh, you know what we have here? Can somebody help me with this? We've got a Psalter, the Psalms.
Do we have that?
Yes, I just saw the title.
Oh, okay.
The Psalter, Psalterium. This is Bible.
Bible, yes. But this is already printed.
And this is very young. It's only from 1479.
Yes,
This was
young.
before the discovery of America, just by about
That's true.
13 years.
Before we knew that America exists.
16 years before America was discovered, this Bible was printed, and it's here in the library.
But then also with comments, handwritten comments.
So the monks were praying and they were writing some notes,
Yes. Yes.
explanations, and so forth.
Yes.
Father, I think we're going to say goodbye in the library, and I think this is very appropriate since you're a professor of history
I think
and
so.
Latin, which is an access tool here, and we met 2 professors of Greek. And this is a center of culture for Europe.
It is.
How many kids are in the school?
400.
We're going to pray for them
We will.
and pray for their teachers.
Good. And we are looking forward to welcome you all here in Einsiedeln.
And one of the things I do in my videos, little signature thing, is we do a little selfie moment. And the sun is coming from this side. So if you turn around here beside me,
Yes.
and I'm going to turn the phone around like this, and we're going to do an improvised selfie moment here like this. So I want to say thank you very much to Father. Somebody's over there. Is that good? You take the picture. Take the picture. Thank you so much. And maybe the picture this morning with Father Philip will look horrible. Maybe we got our chests down.
Headless. 2 headless fathers.
Thank you very much.
You're
I
very
really
welcome.
appreciate it. We don't want to miss too much, so we'll say,
Yes.
say goodbye for now. People,
Bye-bye.
God bless you. Thank you for joining us at Maria Einsiedeln here in Switzerland. Amazing country, amazing culture, amazing nature, amazing people, amazing spirit of faith, deeply rooted more than the trees in this country, deep into the geological strata of this society. It's just a blessing to be here. It's a great way to have a vacation.